Good day everyone and welcome to another vlog for the Exodus 7 to 12 KJV project. Now this week I didn't get to as much as I would like to, still working on some other stuff in between, but I get to start off this week with last week's wind sound that I forgot to add to the video. So anyway, this one is the original sound, raw recording with my phone. I'm going to play you a section of the magnetic tape being, what's the word? Let's go with frazzled. Or ruffled. Ruffled is a better word. So you're just going to hear the raw sound, and then I'm going to play you the final. As you can hear, there is a little bit of a repetition. You know, your arms can only go in so many directions. Not that that's an excuse, because I maintained different kinds of patterns and stuff as well. So, not an excuse. Just something to watch out for. Okay. And this is the final. I'm going to play you guys the built-up area because it just sounds the coolest. You can hear that I maintain some of that repetition. Partially that's because of the way that I, shook it and whatever. But it's also a really great benefit in this case because the sound goes from right to left, east to west. Because it was an east wind that brought the locusts. And it blew day and night. Actually, night and day. No, it's day and night because it blew all that day and all that night. And the next morning it brought the locusts. So, getting on to this week's work. Okay, so this week's work was primarily just this hieroglyphic scene. I just added some sounds to it, so I'm just going to play the scene and we'll go through the sound. And all the Egyptians digged round about the river for water to drink, for they could not drink of the water of the river. And 7 days were fulfilled after that the Lord had smitten the river. The more I watch it, the more I'm happy with it. This is like the third time I had to re-record this thing. Well, actually the second time I had to re-record it. Because I kept getting some sort of weird interference on my sound card. This is using the onboard sound. I have no idea why. I think it has something to do with unstable electricity or something. I don't know. But it seems like my onboard sound is better at filtering that kind of noise. Which is ironic because it's close to all the other components. Anyway, so what we have here is a star flickering sound. I think it's a glockenspiel, if I remember correctly. I did this like Monday or whatever. So it just kind of has a ding, 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 ding kind of thing going on, which is great. But it doesn't quite fit for me personally. Not because it's bad, I don't think it's bad at all, but it's like it doesn't fit in a way. So, yeah, I might keep it, might chuck it, not a problem. We also have the water stream. Now, for this particular section, I went for the busy water stream that I faked using a pool net that I just stirred the water with, and I layered it like twice over itself. And that I used for the blood because the blood is thicker than water. Now, on this amount, I don't know if it is going to make this major difference, but just on the off chance that it might, we're just going for the amplification. What I do is I play that first, and then with the transformation, the real river sound comes in, and it is just absolutely awesome. Like I said, the more times I watch it, the more I love it. I just absolutely love it. And the crowd mumbling is just there. I don't think it's actually playing even. Let's see. Yeah, it's not even playing. So the crowd mumbling is just something you can ignore. So this sound over here, this is the cool part for this week, because this is pretty much all I got to. But I do feel led to share with you guys one of my absolute, let's say, top secret ways of producing sound. And I know you guys are just absolutely going to love it. It's limited, but you're going to love it anyway. So what we have here is what is called the seashore instrument. Now, a lot of you guys know MIDI, but you always know it as that tinny kind of a cheapskate way of doing a backtrack. Now, there are some fantastic MIDI files available that are pretty much right on in terms of backtrack. So I'm not knocking the format. I'm just saying that there's a stigma attached to the format. And it's absolutely unnecessary, and it's truly unfounded. If you've actually worked with it before in a professional capacity, is not exactly what I'm going for. I'm going for, if you've worked with it a lot, you know that it has some phenomenal uses. So one of the uses is to write sound effects. So I'm going to show you that right now. So here we are in my absolute favorite notation program, which is called Anvil Studio. Now, it has a few additional add-ons that you can use to export audio instead of having to record it and all that kind of stuff. This is not sponsored. I'm just sharing with you guys one of the methods that God has used to bless me the most. It's just absolutely wonderful. So what you guys heard earlier was the seashore sound. Now, I'm going to demonstrate something different. I'm going to demonstrate the gunshot sound effect to you guys because it's one of the most dramatic examples of a built-in sound that you can use. So you can see we have breath noise, seashore, bird tweet, telephone ring, helicopter, and applause, as well as the gunshot. We also have guitar fret noise, we've got sitar, we've got tinkle bell, we've got a go-go. You know, there's a lot of stuff. There's absolutely a lot of stuff in here that you can use, and you can also find some spectacular VST instruments, which are driven by MIDI, by the way, online as well, that can really give you much higher quality instruments than these. But we're not focusing on the instruments, we're focusing on the sounds. So in this case, we have the gunshot that I'm going to focus on. Let me just quickly show you the helicopter. I feel led to show you the helicopter first. So let's say it's... No, that's not the note. Let's go with C. I'm going to go with C. I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to up the volume, and I'm going to say C. Now let's play that. Isn't that awesome? Just like that, you got a helicopter sound. Listen to that again. It's awesome. It does repeat a lot, but when you're watching something, the odds that you would notice it are slim to none. And truth be told, most of us don't have access to a helicopter. And trying to reproduce that in Foley is very close to being ridiculous, to be honest. I know it can be done. I'm sure it can be done. I haven't done it before, though, but let's just move on. So here we have the gunshot sound. Okay, so I'm going to just demonstrate like a typical pistol shot, which would be roughly about C and a little bit higher. Not that I'm this gun expert. Oh, no. There we go. Okay, so now the three notes together will produce a nice fuller sound. Okay, let's just give it a little bit low end. It's just a little bit on the soft side for me. So let's go for this one. There you go. It has a little bit of a spacey ring to it, but I really like that. So let's say you have to go for something that's less 70s crime drama and more naval history, like canon. So you can go like really low with this thing. So let's build up a nice thick sound. As you can hear, it just kind of tends to break up a little bit. That breakup is due to the fact that the audio is being stretched. The sample is being stretched to match the pitch. So don't let that deter you. Just build it up so that it's smoother. It doesn't erase all of the problems, but it does smooth it out a lot. So let's give it a little bit more. Okay, let's listen to that. A little bit sharp on the high end there, but that's still good. So if you want to, you can always thicken it up by adding even more low notes, which will absolutely boost it. You can always just do, the whole gambit up to there. Let me show you what that sounds like, actually. Okay, that's the whole lower octave. So you see, you can really get a nice big thud out of it. Listen to that again. It's fantastic. So this is something I really, really use. You don't need to know, all this stuff about harmonics to use this. It's just fantastic of a tool. I want to also demonstrate to you guys the seashore sound. Now, the seashore sound sounds like this. Just get it. Okay, so now this is the seashore sound. Let me just get you guys a nice... let's go for an octave so we have a nice thick sound. Make it 3 octaves. That's just one example. Okay. So what this sounds like when you really write it out, I mean, you pan it, you add volume, you offset it, you do the whole thing. This is what it sounds like. That's just a little sample. Now, to get this sound to really sound like the sea, I play it in Media Player on loop, and I boost the bass to the absolute max, not mass. This is one of those days. So anyway, you just boost it to the absolute max, and that extra presence comes in, and it just feels like the real thing. It is the most awesome sound ever. So that's just a little demonstration of how I do the sounds that I do. The tennis ball sound you guys heard from the channel trailer, when she comes in and it's like that kind of sound, that's actually also produced with Anvil Studio mixed with effects from Audacity, which will also be linked in the description, by the way. So that is it for this week. I hope you guys are able to use this in your projects. It is the single most amazing way of doing quote-unquote Foley. It's not really Foley because you're writing from the library, but anyway. It's one of the coolest resources you have at your fingertips that you might not even have known about. So go use it. Have a great one, and God bless you.